Okay, hi everyone. So we wanted to do a little bit of like a Canada recap, talk about our highlights and just reflect on the trip. And also we've got like a little list of all the things that we are going to miss about Canada and the things that we have missed about Australia and that we're excited for now that we're going home. We're flying home tomorrow and landing back 2 days after that because we've got a very long journey ahead of us. But yeah, we thought we'd like reflect on the 6 months living in Canada. So we started off the trip in Vancouver, and do you want to say some stuff?
Okay. So first off, in Canada, we just got to our Airbnb, and the first activity we did and we really enjoyed was a cycle tour around Vancouver.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was awesome because it took us to, what was it, Stanley Island?
Stanley Park,
yeah. Something. Yeah, that was really cool. So totem poles and just a good history. It was definitely recommend if you go to Vancouver. The tour guide was amazing. He gave us everything, entertained us and everything as well. It was good.
Yeah, it's linked in the Vancouver video and everything. Yeah. And yeah, gave us a good overview of the city, and it was just fun. It was really hot that day, but it was still really good.
It was really good.
It started getting super hot when we finished the tour, so it was made it just in time.
Yeah. Probably got a bit of heat stroke. But
Vancouver was very hot that week we were there.
Yeah.
And then we went to the Capilano Suspension Bridge Park, which was really cool. Had a bit of a shock of expectation versus reality in terms of photos I'd seen of the bridge with just one person walking across it, and then in reality it was packed with people.
Stopping to take photos every second.
And just edging along the bridge.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. The park had massive big trees, and there was some waterfalls, a pretty river, and just very green. And we had lunch there and everything. It was just a really nice day.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went on a whale watching tour.
And that was awesome. We wanted to see killer whales or orcas,
yeah,
but we didn't end up seeing those.
No.
We saw seals and seal pups and a bald eagle.
Yeah.
And a big seal.
Yeah,
I think
they're the male. Yeah, sea lions or male ones as well.
And that was awesome.
A blue whale?
I think it was a blue whale. No, humpback.
Oh, humpback.
Blue whales are huge.
Yeah. No, a humpback whale, and it was pretty close to the boat.
Yeah, it was very close.
Yeah,
good footage of it.
10 meters away or something like that. And yeah, came up and arched, and then a tail.
Yeah, that was awesome.
First time I've ever seen a whale that close. So yeah, that was really cool.
And then we went on a bus, which was awesome because it drove through mountains and everything
to the Rockies. Yeah,
to the Rockies.
It was a 12-hour trip, but it didn't feel that long because we took a few pit stops, but also just the views out the window were amazing. Every couple of seconds we're oh, look at that mountain.
Yeah.
Just the huge Rockies all around us. So that was really cool.
And then we got to Banff, and it was just Banff was just awesome because it was just very touristy town. Everything there was nice and clean and brand new looking. I don't know if it was actually brand new.
I think it probably is pretty new.
Yeah.
And very cohesive, very classic Canadian buildings with
very rock.
wooden logs kind of on the walls and cobblestone kind of thing. And then just the town with all the mountains around it was really nice.
We didn't do anything crazy there. We just kind of just enjoyed the town. Went for lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just walked around the town. We had really nice weather. It was sunny. Had a little picnic in this park, and then we went for the big beehive hike at Lake Louise, which was really, really cool.
That was awesome.
It was kind of raining that day. It was drizzling a little bit, and then it was a bit cloudy, but it was kind of good because we were hiking, so we kind of got warm. And then the sun did come out a little bit later, so the lake was even more bright blue. And then we went to the Cave and Basin where we saw some elk.
Oh yeah, really just cool. Chilling on the street. Not on the street, on the side.
On the side of the street. Yeah. That was cool. And then we went to Johnson Canyon, and the waterfalls there were really cool, and just the water rushing.
Yeah.
Really powerful.
That's really cool.
So that was a nice walk. And then we stayed in Canmore while we were most of the time that we were exploring Banff. And it was just crazy how close the mountains were. Like I remember one time we came out of the supermarket and it just felt like we walked like just into a mountain.
Yeah.
Like it was just like they were just towering like around.
Canmore was, I feel like it was more calm than Banff. Like it's just outside of Banff, but it was just like more chill. Like you can like walk to the shops without
I
like
think it's like where
a lot of
more
people
like people
live.
actually live. Like Banff seems like, I mean the main street is mainly just like hotels, restaurants, and like tourist shops with like souvenirs and stuff like that. So
it was cool.
Yeah, Canmore was definitely one of like our favorite places, and we had like a nice like accommodation there as well. And like it was like the first time in like a few like nights, like probably like a week or a week and a half, that we'd stayed at like a
actual
like place that wasn't a hostel.
Yeah.
So we were really enjoying it. Like we had like a hotel room kind of. Yeah, the Airbnbs we stayed were alright, but like we usually had to have like a shared part of the house. Yeah. So that was really nice. We had like our own space, just the two of us, like in our little hotel room kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we went for a walk at like the river in Canmore on like our last day there as well, which was like a really nice chill day. We just like
had ice cream.
Yeah, went and got ice cream in the town, like walked along the river, which is like all the water there is like crazy blue. And yeah, again, like the mountains just like behind everything. Just
the mountains made it really
I feel like that's like one of the places where like when I look back at the photos, like I can't believe it's like a real place, and that like that photo is actually like of me and that we were there.
Especially being from Australia, not seeing mountains. Like it was
like
just
one of my favorite things. And then we took the bus, like another bus again, to Jasper, and on the way to Jasper we saw a little bear cub like running across the road, which was really exciting. Because like we hadn't seen a bear yet. We thought we were going to see so many more in Banff. Like,
everyone was saying that we were going to see so many bears.
There's so many around there. And we hadn't seen one until that. And that was the only bear that we've seen this whole time in Banff. I mean, in Canada. Which, I mean, is kind of a good thing. But also we're kind of sad we didn't see like a bigger one. Because I wouldn't have minded seeing one like from a bus or like a bit further away when we were like out somewhere. But yeah, that was really cool, seeing a little bear cub. And then we went whitewater rafting, which you'd never done that before either, right?
No.
Yeah, that was really fun.
It was really cool.
Yeah, a bit of an adventure experience.
It was hot that day and the water was really nice and cold, cooled us down.
Yeah.
It was good.
But no, that was really fun. And then we went to Edmonton.
Another bus?
Yes.
Yeah. We liked buses for a little bit.
It was good. It was good. They didn't care as much about the luggage and stuff as well, so it made it easier.
Yeah. So Edmonton was interesting.
We didn't do too much.
We didn't do crazy amount of stuff. We went for like a bike ride, walks.
Michael thinks he spotted Abraham Lincoln. Could be.
But it wasn't much there.
It wasn't our favourite place we went. I don't know, I think also the hostel wasn't in the best area.
Yeah.
It's like when we went into the city for that walk, like it was nice by the river and like I think some areas probably are nicer, but where we were with the hostel probably wasn't the best area. And we kind of were also a bit, I guess, like exhausted from like basically already 2 weeks of just like non-stop travelling and doing stuff. So we kind of took Edmonton as like a few days to just like recoup, and we had to like book flights to like our next stop, because up until there kind of was booked, and then everything else after that wasn't really. And you had like a vague plan, not actually like flights or accommodation booked, so we had to organise all that. So we kind of did that when we were there. And when we were cycling, we like heard coyotes.
Yeah, that was crazy.
We thought it was like kids like screaming for help or something. Like it sounded weird. Like we literally thought it was like children, and we're like, oh, like so someone needs help.
Yeah.
And then we realized, like, we kind of like stopped riding, and then we realized it was like coyotes.
Yeah, because we were riding to like the tree walk. There's like a.
Oh, we did like a high ropes course.
Yeah,
kind
and then we rode back home, and we just rode past like this bush area. It
was like a field kind of.
Yeah, like a giant field, and we're like riding, and we're like talking, and then we could hear just like.
Yeah, but it wasn't that animalistic. It was like kids like screaming kind of.
And then we were like, what the hell? But we couldn't see any children or anything around us. And then we like stopped. We shouldn't have stopped. And we're like, what's that sound? But we got told in Jasper, because we met some people that lived in Edmonton, that they have like a really bad coyote like problem. Like they just walk around the streets and like the city and everything.
Apparently there's a lot there.
And we were like, oh, what does that sound? And then we were like, oh, it's probably coyotes. But we didn't really know because we didn't hear the sound before. Yeah. And then as soon as we went back to the hostel, we like Googled it and it sounded exactly like it.
Yeah, we heard scary. More that night as well. Like we heard some and then we like YouTubed like, what do coyotes sound like? And we're like, yep, that was definitely it.
Yeah, and they're dangerous. They're very dangerous.
Yeah.
So we could have
been mauled.
Yeah.
No, and then we flew to Toronto. And then the first day there, I think, like our first main day that we like went into Toronto, went to the Ice Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that was really cool. They're very like, it was like amazing. Like they had lots of interactive like things like you could shoot at goal. They had like NHL game. They can play.
Playing NHL. I don't know. Oh, nice hit. Oh my god. Circles hate it.
They had like a news report thing. It was like very interactive. And also like a lot of history about ice hockey. Especially if you like ice hockey, that was really awesome.
Yeah, Michael's loving it.
Yeah. And the Stanley Cup. Yeah, we were able to take photos.
Stanley Cup.
It was the same guy. It was the same guy. Yeah.
And we took a photo with that.
Yeah.
Touching the Stanley Cup.
That was
then we just kind of walked around that day. And then we went to the Botanic Garden, and on the way back we just like were looking at maps to try and see when we had to get off the bus, and it just like popped up like Drake's house, and we like looked and we're like, oh,
it was huge.
So that was kind of cool, like actually driving past a celebrity's house, because I feel like that doesn't really happen in Australia. They don't especially not in Perth. Yeah, they don't live in Perth, maybe in Sydney or something.
Yeah.
So that was kind of funny, especially because we weren't like planning to go past there. And then we went for like a nice dinner near the Eaton Centre for like our anniversary.
Yeah, that was really good.
And that was really nice.
Hendrix Spa.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah. But we didn't. Well, Michael was like not feeling well for some of the days, so I feel like we didn't do as much as we could have or really wanted to in Toronto.
The Great Canadian Bake Off a lot.
Yeah.
In Toronto.
Yeah, we stayed at one Airbnb that was kind of like, it was like we had to catch like 2 or 3 buses to get into like Toronto, and also the weather was really bad those few days, so we kind of just chilled a little bit. And like we walked around the area that we were staying in, like Mississauga, I think it's called. And we didn't really go into the city until a few days later when the weather was a little bit better. So I feel like we didn't explore as much of Toronto as we would have wanted to, or like, I don't know, I feel like our trip there didn't do it justice of like everything we could have seen. So it would be good to go back there again and like properly explore some more stuff there.
Especially because we've got friends that live there.
Yeah, we've like made friends like in Halifax here, and they're from Toronto, so it'd be cool if we go back and visit them, and they can kind of like show us around a little bit more, like the local spots. We didn't do like too much in Toronto, and then we flew to Halifax, which was a disaster of a journey, but we eventually...
Yeah, flight got cancelled a few times, but we got here in the end.
Eventually we made it to Halifax. And then I feel like the highlights of like Halifax, like obviously we've been here for like 5 months, so that's like the longest place we've stayed, because I like went to uni here, but I feel like in summer the waterfront was just really nice. Like we went down to the waterfront, we just got like ice creams, we had fish and chips one time at like a pub thing on the waterfront, and then we tried poutine for the first time there as well.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we got on with bacon for the first time. It was a bit rich.
It's crazy, like, because it's like bacon, cheese, and gravy. It was very
on chips.
On
fries, and it was good. But like we shared one that was like not necessarily that big of a portion, but it felt very rich. We've had it a few times since then without the bacon.
Yeah.
Like when we've gone to watch ice hockey games and stuff.
And it's
and
nice.
I thought I wouldn't really like it that much because I like my chips very crispy. I was like, gravy will make them like soggy. But I feel like they managed to do it in a way that like they are still crispy, like on the ends where the gravy's not on them, kind of thing. So I don't know. I like it. And the type of cheese they use is pretty nice as well.
Yeah.
Then like I said, ice hockey games, which I feel like was a highlight as well. Like I'd never seen ice hockey before. Michael had seen like a few. And I don't know, I'm not the biggest sport person, but I liked watching ice hockey. Like, I feel like
stuff's happening all the time.
Yeah, very fast paced, like keeps your attention. Like, I don't get distracted as much as I do like watching like soccer or something, which I actually like watching soccer, but it's easier to be like, oh, where's the ball? Like, what just happened? Whereas I feel like in ice hockey, it's like short, fast paced stints of like ton of action.
You have to watch the whole time.
And it's easier to tell because they have like stoppages, obviously, but like it's easier to tell when they're about to start again because they go into like a specific position around like two people who are like going to get the puck. And so it's like you see them in that formation and you're like, oh, I need to pay attention again kind of thing. Like, it's easier to know when to watch.
Whoa.
It's because I play music. So that was fun. And then just like autumn, like
seeing like
forests,
the leaves change and everything.
Like every like where we went, like all the trees, even like bushes, just like every plant basically was like changing colours, like all colourful and orange and everything. Which for me was like one of my favourite things because we don't really have autumn like that in Australia. Like some trees are deciduous and like change colours, but a lot of them, like the native Australian plants, just
stay green.
Yeah, or like just
or
brown.
Yeah.
And then like Halloween, I feel like was really nice as well.
Cool.
Like having like more of like a proper feeling Halloween.
Yeah.
Like
people went crazy decorating houses and everything.
Yeah. We went to a pumpkin picking farm, which was really cool, and like carved our pumpkins. And then we also went to like a fear farm thing, which is like a haunted house, like corn maze and everything. We went with like our friends, like it was a little bit like out of Halifax, so we took a little road trip, and that was really fun. Like we just don't have stuff like that.
No.
So
should make it. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, that was good. And when we went in the forest, a lot of the time we saw like lots of squirrels and then also deer in the forest and in our garden. Yeah. So that was crazy. Like the first time they came into our garden.
There's like a family that lives in the there's like a forest next to our house, and I think like a family lives there. It's always the same three. Yeah, our landlord said that it's like those three like always come. Yeah. And so we've seen them like a lot of times that like we've just been like having dinner or like something and we walk past and see like the deer outside, which is really crazy. And like we've gone out sometimes and like they come up pretty close and I don't know, it's just cool to have like, I mean in Australia like the equivalent to deer would be like kangaroo. Yeah. But like even where we live, even though it's like suburbs and there is kangaroos around like near like the lake and like on like just meadows, they wouldn't come into like our garden because like it's just, I don't know, it's like different here, like their garden's fully back onto like a forest or like a strip of forest, so there's a lot more like animals like around and that's been cool. And then just the snow. Yeah, the snow's been awesome. We haven't had crazy snow until the other day. Yeah. Where we could actually make like a giant snowman and just seeing it snow and like it's been really cool. Yeah, it's like very pretty. And then on Christmas we had a little bit, which we were impressed by already coming from Perth where it doesn't snow. But it was more just like a light dusting. And then what we had like last weekend was like proper like thick, like, you know, like 30 centimeters deep. Yeah, kind like of your thing. Foot would sink into it. Yeah. Like, it was cool. Yeah. Never had that. That was a really fun experience. We just like did all the classic things. Made snowmen, snowball fight, walked in the forest, did some snow skating along the street, and just walking around in the snow. Everything like just looks so pretty. Just not skiing. There's not many hills here, but next time we'll probably go like in the mountains and we'll be doing lots of skiing, snowboarding, all that. And we've been ice skating as well. They've got like a free rink here, which is really cool. And like when the sun was shining, the snow was like really sparkly as well, so it was really pretty. And that was making me sad to leave because I was like, oh, we don't get snow. But
that's basically our
Canada trip highlights.
Yeah, like our recap. Alright, and then we've got like a list of things that we're gonna miss about Canada and what we missed about Australia and like are excited for when we go home. So stuff about Canada, forest. Like in Australia we just have the bush, and I feel like going for walks in the forest is different than going for walks in the bush. Like it just feels more magical, and like it's cool as well because you come from just like a normal like busy road, and as soon as you go in the forest it just feels like silent and like calm.
Yeah, I feel like the forest is just like, it's very green, and like the bush is just red and like sandy and like
dry.
There's this dry, and there's like just the same plant. It's just like I don't know, it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
But when you do it, you're just like, well, this is like
very peaceful and just feel like it's
no flies.
more relaxing and soul recharging than walking in the bush. Like being outside is always like good and like nature, but I feel like there's a difference between like forest and like bush. So and then obviously like the mountains, like when we're in like the Rockies. We just Perth is pretty flat. We have some hills, but nothing that really classifies as like a mountain.
No.
And it was just crazy, like the magnitude of them, and like I don't know, I just feel like they're so majestic and like
and like
it's just so beautiful.
Even when you've seen them from a distance, you can still see how clear it is. Like you can see like there's a snow at the top of a mountain, or like it just looks, especially if there's like a cloud there, it looks so cool.
Yeah, and like you can see all the details of like the ragged bits of rock, and I don't know. Yeah, it looks really cool. And then animals, like all the different animals that we've seen here, but especially like squirrel and deer, because we've seen those the most, like around Halifax and everything. And just like how close the deer were. Like,
and how many different types of squirrel they have in different provinces.
Like the different provinces had different squirrels, like different colours, different sizes. Like the ones here are like tiny red ones. Yeah. And then in like
when we went to Niagara,
we went to Niagara.
In Niagara Falls, they're like giant black squirrel, like really like huge.
Yeah, they were black with like, or like grey, like very dark brown. Yeah. And huge. And
here they have like small red ones.
Yeah, I think they are called red squirrels as well, and they're like really tiny. So that, I feel like different places we've seen like different ones. I don't know, the ones in Vancouver, were they like kind of more greyish? Yeah.
And they have like a skinny tail.
Yeah. Also, I just remembered in Toronto, the seagulls were massive.
Oh yeah, they were
like
huge.
Terrifying. Like they were literally like 3 times the size at least of a seagull in like Australia.
And we were
so confused. We were like, are those seagulls, like they just don't look like what we know as seagulls.
Like an eagle or something.
Yeah, massive. Crazy.
The ones here, they're not that big.
Not as big, the ones in Toronto are huge.
Yeah, they were huge. They're eating something different over there. It's a poutine or something.
Poutine. And then, are you going to talk about this one? This is like your big thing.
What? Oh yeah. So in Australia, in the winter it's cold, but it's just like not cold enough to wear a puffer jacket or like a scarf or like a long sleeve shirt and like you just can't wear.
When you wear your beanies, you get like itchy.
When I wear a beanie, my head still gets like warm and sweaty.
So like the thing that we're saying that we're gonna miss is actually being able to wear cold weather clothes and not being hot. Just when you have, because like in winter in Australia, it will still be like 20 degrees. So in the morning, maybe like it's cooler. It's like 12 degrees or something. So you need like a hoodie. But then as soon as it hits like midday, you're like sweating and you have to be like in a t-shirt. Yeah. And especially if you're driving, you're getting really hot. Actually being able to wear those like cold weather clothes and be comfortable. But that's been like nice. Like I just enjoyed also like the fashion in like autumn, like actually being able to wear scarves, like bigger like coats and cardigans and like boots and stuff like that. And
turtlenecks. I can wear my turtleneck without getting really warm.
Yeah.
It was good.
So that's been really nice. And then like we said, we're gonna miss the snow. Gonna miss like the autumn leaves and colours. Like that was just a really beautiful time.
Yeah.
And then like I put actual seasons. So like I feel like in Australia.
Yeah, the difference between the seasons.
Yeah, in Australia I feel like we kind of have like, I mean, we have a winter and it rains, but not really. Like, I feel like we don't have 4 clear distinct seasons.
Yeah. You can tell in the temperature but not in like looking at trees or like looking outside.
Yeah.
You just be like, oh, it's like 20 degrees here. It must be getting to winter or like something like.
Yeah, it's like a bit cooler, but then like even winter days, like you can get a pretty warm day that's like 25 and like sunny, and you still have blue skies like throughout the year. So it's like, I mean, we're spoiled with the weather, but we also don't really get that like excitement for the next season as much.
Yeah.
Like, because we are blessed with just kind of good weather like dispersed throughout the year. So yeah, having the actual seasons is like, I mean, it's been fun. And then like our new friends, like I feel like it's sad to like say goodbye to like people that you've like formed a good connection with, and then now you're like going back home. But I think like we will stay in touch with them, and hopefully, I mean, they enjoy traveling and we do as well, so hopefully we see them again, either if they come visit Australia or if we come back to Canada or we meet up somewhere else in the world.
Oh yeah, just like connectedness in the world to the world and everything. Like they get a lot more here than we get in WA Perth. I feel Halifax,
and even just Australia in general, because Australia is like an island, just like its own thing kind of, whereas Canada feels more connected to like other places.
They get things before Australia. Like it's hard to explain.
I also feel like maybe the fact that the seasons are aligned, so like when we're in winter right now, you're like, usually when we're in Australia, it's summer when there's winter, like basically every other place, like in the northern hemisphere. So like I'll be like on Instagram or something and I'm seeing all these like things about winter, and I'm in summer, and it's like I get excited for winter, but I'm like in summer still. So it's kind of hard to, I don't know, like I feel like it's just, you feel like out of sync with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Whereas like here, we're in winter right now, while Europe is also in winter, America's also in winter, like we're in Canada, like, I don't know. And also just, you can get so many more things from different brands like that actually ship to like Canada than they would to like Australia and stuff. Yeah. And I feel like there's been like a lot of events too, like I feel like in Halifax, and Halifax is like way smaller than Perth as a city, and I still feel like there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't know, just
that's free as well.
Yeah. And I don't know, we just feel like just being here and being like, okay, this is where we are in like the world, feels more connected.
Yeah.
Because Perth is very isolated, so yeah. And then no flies in the summer.
Oh, that's the best. In summer, the flies are like crazy. Like you can't go for a walk anywhere without having flies on your back or like
in the garden, and especially if you go into the bush, it's like a lot.
Oh man,
and
so
when
many.
we were in like even in Vancouver, that was really hot. There wasn't any flies at all. When we were in Banff, none.
Yeah.
Like, it is nice. It does
They're
ruin
just so
things
annoying.
like when you're just like having like a chill walk, and then like you constantly having to like get rid of a fly.
Yeah,
so.
it's just, and it just on your back, like you just feel them, and
it was nice not having that.
It was really nice.
And
then having time to like enjoy like hobbies, like we haven't had this much time just for ourselves. We usually
basically since like probably like COVID, like lockdowns, when you were forced to be inside
and do like.
But yeah,
like I've enjoyed like playing video games, and you've enjoyed like editing.
Yeah, like making videos for YouTube, like doing like my bullet journaling, and like just having time to like read. Like I used to read so much, and then I kind of like haven't had time to, and now I've like properly gotten back into like reading. Like I probably read more books in the last like 5 months than I have in the last like 4 years or something. Like
watching a lot of movies as well.
Yeah.
Like we haven't actually,
and like series and stuff like that.
Like usually when we're home, we're just like on a Saturday we'll like watch a movie or like a TV show. But like we've been watching movies like
that.
You've been catching up on your movie watching.
Yeah. And that goes like hand in hand obviously with like not having to work.
Yeah.
Which is like something we're gonna miss about Canada. But like we've got something for Australia of like we missed making money. So it's kind of like you can't make money without working.
Yeah.
But it has been nice not working because it's given us more time to spend with each other. Like one of the things I've got is like spending almost like 24/7 together.
Yeah.
Like except for when I was at uni, and I'd have to like go to classes. But even then, sometimes Michael would come.
It would just be like an hour because I would go to like the gym at the uni.
Exactly. So like sometimes Michael would even come with me to uni, so we'd only really be apart for like that hour or two that I was in class.
Yeah.
And then obviously when I finished uni, like we've been spending like just every moment of every day together, and just don't get sick of it.
Making workouts, doing workouts at home.
Yeah. So it's been really nice to just spend a lot of quality time together and like just talk and laugh and have fun.
And like feeling more independent.
Yeah.
Living
living alone like completely, and like also being like away from family obviously has been like hard, and like we miss them, but it's been a good experience as well for us to just like.
Well, we've learnt a lot about living, having to like look after ourselves, but it's easy because we're together. Like we look after each other, but like I feel like we've also been able to look after ourselves at the same time.
Yeah.
Like we're like, oh, I need to take my vitamins and take my pill and like.
Just independence like with a lot of things, and like knowing that like we have to rely on ourselves and each other, because like if something goes wrong, we like can't really just be like, oh, hey mom, hey dad, can you like come pick us up, or like
looking after our money and everything.
Obviously we can still call them for advice, but like they can't actually like get on a plane and come and like help us. So I mean,
and neither of us has gotten injured, which is really good.
That's true.
Like well, I've hurt my knee.
We didn't hurt it, it's just got like the weather
worse.
here.
Yeah, so that's one thing
you're excited for in Australia.
Your
knee to get better. Okay, so things we missed about Australia / are excited for, because obviously we're going home tomorrow. Like family and friends, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, just having like our close friends and our family like around us, and people to go hang out with and do fun things. Like luckily we made friends here that we could like do things with. But for a while, obviously, we still had to make friends, and like we also missed the friends that we already have at home. But I've kept in touch with most of mine like a lot with FaceTime, and just obviously messaging as well. So we're excited to see our friends and family. The beach and the ocean is like, I feel like when we're at home, like I'm not like a crazy beach person, because we have a pool at home, so I usually rather go in the pool than like drive to the beach. Your mum lives close to the beach, so you can kind of walk. But I feel like even just driving past the ocean,
it's just
in
nice.
Summer and stuff, and like having the windows down, like I feel like that's just like a really nice thing. So we have missed like the beaches and the ocean, like
especially living on the coast. We see the sunset like perfect, because it's like going over the ocean.
I don't think we've seen that many sunsets here, because like I don't know, we haven't been to any good spots. We've been able to see it really well.
We've been able to see the aftermath, like how the sky changes.
Yeah, sky's like a little bit pretty, but like not actually watching like the sun like go down over the horizon. Then like I said, we have a pool, so like pool days, just like relaxing by the pool, and like it being like warm. Summer weather and like sunshine. So just like the sun, like sunny days just like put you in a better mood, give you more energy, and like I mean, we've done a pretty good job of like still staying active during winter. Like we've been doing lots of home workouts and everything. Like even if we don't go outside to do it, we still do some kind of activity inside and like move our bodies. But it is nice when you can
go for like a bike ride or a run.
I just feel like the sunshine makes you more
more
energetic to like go and do stuff. And then like I said before, like making money. So like we've missed like making money, and even though we've enjoyed not having to work, we're excited to work to make money again. And like
it shows like I am excited to work as well. Like not working a lot has made me more like appreciative like of like working. Like
I'm looking forward to like I guess seeing like my work colleagues and like working to some degree, like the parts of my job that I enjoy.
Not dealing with
we want to try and have like more of a work-life balance this year anyway, because we worked a lot leading up to this trip, obviously, to save money. And so when we come home, the goal is to kind of cut that back a little bit, so we have a bit more time to enjoy like the things that we've missed, like family and friends, and just to
have fun in Australia. So we missed Australia.
And then I've got good weather basically every day, so we can be outside all the time. Like even in winter, like there's usually periods of rainy, gross weather, but I feel like in between you still get weeks of sunshine and like blue skies where you can still go and have a picnic, or like just go for a nice walk and it be nice. And I don't know, we just have good weather a lot, so it makes it nice.
Like the weather's good here, it's just cold. But it's like
it has
negative.
it's a lot more cloudy and rainy though.
Yeah.
I mean, we also maybe like Halifax more than other places in Canada.
Yeah.
We can only speak from like
Halifax.
where we've been living for the majority of the time. But driving.
Oh yeah, it's the transportation here in Halifax is the worst. Like bus service ever.
Yeah, they only have buses, no trains, and they're very inconsistent and unreliable. Like they come, like they'll come either like 5 minutes early or 5 minutes late, and we have to walk like 10 minutes to the bus stop. So if we leave, so that we like, even if we like leave a little bit earlier, if the bus comes early, we either have to sprint to make it or we miss it.
Yeah.
If it comes like really early, and then other times it'll come late and you're like standing like waiting for it, and then like you miss your connection, or it just means like I was in a big rush to like get to my uni class.
Yeah, they just weren't reliable. Like,
but we're talking about what we are excited for, not what we didn't like.
And just like the freedom of driving.
Positive.
Yeah.
Positive things about Canada, positive things about Australia.
Just the driving, like just the freedom. Like we could drive to the shops, we could drive to the beach.
I actually just enjoy like the act of driving as well. Like I like being in my car and like just
playing music.
Yeah, it's just like a nice
podcast or something.
And it is a lot easier just like quickly go somewhere and not have to like line it up with bus times or like it's good.
Can't wait.
Having like an aesthetic space and home. So like obviously like we've stayed like in an Airbnb here and we've got everything we need, but it's obviously not what we picked out. It's not our things, it's not our style, and it's like everything works, everything does its purpose. Like we've had everything we need. But it'll be nice to have like everything the way we like it, like kind of like our style, like our environment feeling homely in the way
we've done our best to try and make it feel homely. But it's just not our style.
I mean, it feels homely because it's like
we've been here for a while.
I know we've got each other, but like we also, I don't know, a lot of things just like the bedding is like completely not what I would choose for bedding. So it would just be nice to have like a space where you walk into the room and you just like think, oh, it looks so nice. And so, and then I've got also like all of our clothes and things like, obviously we're only able to bring like a suitcase worth of things.
So we had very limited amount of clothes to pick from each day. So we basically wore the same outfits but just in different...
Pretty much a capsule wardrobe.
Yeah.
And it's been like good, makes it easier to pick out outfits, like don't take as long, but after a while you get a little bit bored of it and you kind of want to branch out.
The same jumper every day.
Yeah, kind of want to branch out a little bit and like wear something more like fun and different. So I'm excited to come home and like see all my clothes for the first time in like 6 months, and I've probably forgotten half the things I own, so it'll be good.
I don't have much clothes, so...
You still have quite a few
I've got
left
a bit
home,
more.
though.
Yeah. Like jumpers. I feel like I brought every single t-shirt I had.
You also overpacked though.
I did overpack, yes. I had a bigger suitcase, so I don't know. Not good.
And then like familiarity, like just places that we know, like we're
not needing to use maps all the time to go anywhere. And
just like knowing like, oh, like this is a good cafe, like I know that it's like good there, and like, so I mean it comes like, it goes hand in hand with like trying new places here, because we have enjoyed trying new places here, so it's like it's fun to not have that familiarity, but it's also nice to have it. And
like not just going places, like also like products we use. Like they have like a bunch of Canadian products.
It took us a little while to get our head around like what's kind of stuff to buy, and like we bought a few things where we were like, oh, this doesn't really, like we don't like the taste of this specific whatever sauce or something, so then we kind of like tried out a few different ones until we kind of figured out which ones we like. But I mean, if you go anywhere new, that's like part of it. So and then like not having to tip / taxes being included in prices advertised, because a lot of all the prices here on the menu, it will say the price minus tax, so then you look at it and you think it's very like affordable.
Whoa, it's $5.
Yeah, or you like kind of mentally calculate how much the total will be, and then when you go to pay, it's kind of like, wait, what?
Like $18 of tax or something.
Yeah, so it's kind of just, I don't know, it just makes it harder to like figure out how much you're going to be spending on like a meal or on groceries or anything, because it's just not advertised in the price and just like gets slumped on at the end. And then not having to tip as well, because especially being here and being on a tight budget, we felt really bad like not tipping like as much, but like also I feel like it shouldn't be like citizens' job to pay someone's wages. Like their employer should be paying them like enough that they don't have to live off tips.
Yeah.
So that's a nice thing about Australia, that like
we just pay for the food.
Yeah, tipping isn't really customary. Like you just, if you really, really are impressed with someone, you could tip them, but it's quite rare. Like
we just had people they're just like, oh yeah, here you go guys, and we had to like tip him and like
so that would be nice not having to tip. But but we are very excited to go home. Like obviously there's things we're gonna miss here, but I'm sure we'll be back and get to experience all those things again. And we're excited to go home and like
we'll have more knowledge on what we can actually do next time, because we've experienced everything now. When we first came, you were like, how do we get here? Like we thought we could just catch a train.
Yeah, we thought the trains were going to be a lot easier to get between places, and then
it's not.
It wasn't. So we ended up with the buses, which was good as well, but obviously different to what we thought we were going to be doing. I thought we were going to be getting like just a train all the way like across Canada, different places, but it wasn't as like easily accessible as like in Europe, where you can just everything's so much more well connected and everything. But it's been a really, really good experience. Like I'm so glad that we came, that we did it, and I feel like we'll look back on it with like a lot of fun memories. We've learned a lot about life, about each other, about ourselves, and
awesome.
It's been good.